Afternoon, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stamping with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I'm coming to you today from my craft studio in Wasaga Beach, Ontario. Welcome to Craft Spot. For some reason, it feels like I haven't been here for a long time, but um, I have. I was at the cottage last week, so it's only been 1 week, but I am back in Wasaga Beach right now, and so I'm in uh, my at home craft studio as opposed to my cottage craft studio, I suppose, is one way to sort of describe it. But welcome. This is Craft Spot. This is my Wednesday afternoon get together with you where I share something crafty, something that I've been working on, something new that I've received, um, something. And today I have no cards and I'm not doing any stamping. So there, take that. No, today I have a 3D project. And if you haven't made one of these before, this is a really handy dandy little 3D item that you are going to want to make. I've had just a tutorial up on my website for many years now, but I don't think I've ever done a video tutorial. So this will include a video, a how-to. So if you have not made one of these, you can follow along with the video, stop and start, whatever you need, and make one or several for yourself. They're very handy. And I have them all over the house. Well, not all over the house, but all over where I craft. So, news. What do we have? It's May. We are trucking through May. We are coming towards the end of May. And let's see. I have not I have not kicked off my kickoff. How do you like that? I haven't started the videos. I have all 6 videos. I am in the process of downloading them and uploading them and getting them labeled and getting them scheduled and everything. And my goal is to start that in the next day or two. And they will run for 6 days. So there are 6 videos and they are all new things from the annual catalog or new products that came out at the beginning of May as online exclusives. And if you have not heard me talk about these before, I have done 2 videos and I have teamed up with my good friends Sarah and Terry to do 2 each. So we've all done 2 videos, 2 totally different products. So that's 6 different things we are going to share with you. Lots of samples, lots of inspiration, lots of ideas. And these are all done with new products. Of course, you can borrow these ideas and case our projects using whatever you have in your stash. But we wanted to do this to showcase all the fabulous new things that are out there right now, including new in colors that are um, always exciting. I love when we get new in colors. So 5 new colors does mean we lost 5 colors that we used to have, but we got 5 fresh new ones. So that is always exciting. So watch for that. Also, our online global retreat that is being held in July. Registration is going to open for that this week as well. And you'll see a flyer for that. There is a scrapbooking virtual retreat that is being hosted by Stampin' Up. And I will probably do a video just introducing that to you because it's very, very different from anything that Stampin' Up! Has done in the past. This is um, a 3-day retreat that they are hosting. It's all virtual, but it's based on the Close to My Heart scrapbooking retreats that Close to My Heart used to do. And I have spoken to a few people, demonstrators now at Stampin' Up! That were makers with Close to My Heart, and they said these retreats are awesome. And a very, very big part of this one was designed by a woman who was with Close to My Heart and is now with Stampin' Up! So I'm sure this one's going to be awesome. It's huge, but more on that coming soon. Okay, shall we do a little bit of crafting? I am going to head down to the crafting area here And as I do that, if you are here, say hello. Let me know that you are watching and you are here, and we will get to some crafting. So this is what we are going to make. This is such an awesome way. Oh, look, I even put designer series paper on the bottom. I don't have paper on the bottom of the one that I'm doing today, but I do have it on all four sides like this. But what an awesome way to show off some of our pretty designer series paper, don't you think? Here's another one. See, this one I didn't put paper on the bottom, but I did put a little message on there. It says with gratitude, and I have a bow. This was actually a pillow gift, one of the pillow gifts from one of our online global retreats. We always put little surprise gifts into our online retreat goodie boxes. So this was one a couple of years ago when we had this paper, but that's that one. And what the heck do you do with these things, you're asking? Well, this. Look at that. And it sits on your desk and it keeps the glue coming to the tip where you need it. How awesome is that? You have to love that because even now at the end you do still have to do some of this, but but it does keep it down where you want it for the most part, so it's ready to go. Okay, so shall we make one of those? I am using Daffodil Delight cardstock, and I am also using this paper whose name I didn't just look up. Totally escapes me. It's all that flowery stuff, and this won't help you, I'm sure, because that doesn't really show you a whole lot. Let me grab some. I have used it on other projects recently, and I know I've shown it to you, but Lovely Garden. So it's this one. This is large though. You don't want such a big print when you're doing something like this. You would lose too much of it. I mean, you could have a box of just all these gorgeous colors of flowers, but you wouldn't really see the detail of the picture. So larger patterns are not the best, but look at this little yellow flower is perfect and bright and sunny. You cannot go wrong. So I got a little overzealous as I was starting this. And I did fold it, but I'm going to show it to you again just as we go. I will include the written sizing when I do my blog post, but for now, 8.5 by 6. Okay, 8.5 by 6. And on the short side, so when I say on the short side, you're going to put this in your scoreboard or your trimmer. And bring my trimmer in. With the short side across the top at the ruler part. Put in my trimmer that I just okay, so we are going to score this at 4 inches. So you just put your paper at 4 and you would score, and at 2. So I would tend to say score it at 2 and at 4, and you will see that in the instructions. So on the short side, it is scored at 2 inches and 4 inches. Then you're going to turn it 90 degrees, and you're going to score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Super easy. And then you'll have a piece with a whole bunch of squares and a narrow strip at the end. Okay. And you're going to use a round die to cut out the center of this middle second one. Okay. This is about 1 inch, give or take. It can be a little more, it can be a little less. And you can use any dies at all, whatever you want. This is 1 1/8 is truly the opening, but anything in that neighborhood. Okay. And then what I also did was I used that same die again and a larger one to cut a ring so that I can put this here to reinforce. Okay. And the reason I reinforce, you've got your glue bottle going in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. if you did not reinforce this top section, it would start to cave in somewhat. So that just gives it a little extra strength. Okay, so once we have it all scored and ready to go, we are just going to use our bone folder, and we are going to burnish the folds on all of these score lines. Using a bone folder for your 3D projects is extremely important because you want to have super crisp edges and folds and whatever it is you're making, whether it's a box or a glue holder or whatever it is, you want it nice and crisp in your folds. So that's why you want to burnish everything with a bone folder. Okay, and then we are going to, so this section where we have the hole, I am going to cut straight up on that score line up to the first score line there. Okay. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. On this side. Okay. So these two pieces, let's see if I can manipulate all of this. These two pieces have straight edges, and we did that because this is going to be our outer flap on the edge of the box, and you just want all these edges to be nice and square. Okay, so that will make them square, because what we're going to do after that is we are going to cut V notches into all these other pieces. So I'm going to notch this one, but not this one that's in line with the die cut circle. Okay. And you do that because when you fold this and put it together, there's a lot of cardstock where you have pieces coming together, and it can get lumpy and bumpy, and it doesn't always fold into a really nice, crisp square. So if you cut these notches, and you've probably seen me do this with many boxes and things, you cut these notches, and then it gives it a little bit of room for everything to come together and stay nice. Now here I'm down at the edge. So this is just the narrow edge. So I've come up on an angle here. I'm going to cut straight there and take this whole piece out. Okay. Come over here. I'm going to cut straight here. And I'm going to angle in on this piece. I'm cutting a wedge on the first piece, cutting a wedge on the second piece, and I'll lay this down in a moment and you will see it. I'm going to cut the wedge on the other side of this. Okay, but this is the one where we're not cutting a wedge. And then, oh, I already did that one. Okay, so let me get rid of all these scraps, and I will show you what we have. Okay. Excuse me. So now you can see we have angles on some of this and straight on the centerpiece. Angle and angle, angle and angle. Oh, excuse me. Okay, now this reinforced piece, you can just glue it down if you want, but I like to just add a little. You could do it in a different color as well. I could have done it in the garden green to coordinate with the paper. I didn't, but I've just done it in yellow. But look, I'm going to add Wink of Stella, and this perhaps may not show too well on camera. Wink of Stella often doesn't, but if you have used Wink of Stella, you know that it's just this really nice little shimmer accent that we put onto things. Super easy. It just comes in a pen like this, and you just give it a shake and get it going and just brush it on. And it only takes just a very quick moment to dry, and that will be ready. There we go. Let me just tap back onto that guy. Pull this up and let's see if we can get it. There, did you see that? Look at that. See how it's got that shimmer on it? So it just adds just a little extra something. Okay, then I am going to turn all of my Designer Series paper pieces over, and I'm going to come in. You could use tape runner or tear and tape, whatever you like. I'm going to just use my liquid glue here. I'm going to put some glue onto all of these squares. Be careful with your glue. If you haven't used green glue, you want to be very, I would say, be stingy with your glue. It'll go further, and it also then won't ooze out. This you don't need a lot of this glue. It's beautiful and sticky. Once it's adhered, it does give you a little moment to wiggle it in case you need that. But it's super strong. So it is good for 3D projects, except that you do have to just hold it for a moment when you set it down. Okay, bring this down a little bit. Now, when I'm putting these on, I am going to put them, if your paper has an up and a down direction, this is up. Okay, so here's my top and it's going to go down. And that's going to be the case on all 4 edges here. So for this one, I'm going to turn it this way. This will be my top, and there is the bottom, the down. Okay. This one, same thing. The top is towards the die cut hole. If you mess it up, you can pull it off, but it's a bother. Ask me how I know that. I don't know, somehow I was not paying attention. It wasn't even the first one that I had made. So I don't know why. All of a sudden, I just stopped paying attention. But this one, look, it doesn't matter. There's no up and down. So that's always a good one to use. You don't have to worry about which way is which and which way's up and all the rest of that. Here, okay. So while I'm here with my liquid glue, I am just going to put some glue onto this ring. I'm going to set it down right over top of that die cut hole. Give that a press. And then I'll just flip the whole thing over and give it all a really nice squish. Sure, everything is stuck right down. Okay. Now, over to this little tab here. I'm going to use some tear and tape just because it is quick and easy, and it too is a nice strong adhesive. There. This. And then to assemble this box, I'm going to fold this first piece over with the little extra flap. There, you can see I've got that little extra flap, and the tear and tape is on there. And then I'm just going to fold this in, and right exactly where it falls is exactly where it should be. Okay. And then all we need to do is fold in these flaps. So you don't need to put glue on all of these flaps. It will all stay together, but I tend to put just a little, uh, a little, a little dab of glue along the edge where it's going to meet, okay? And these are the sides. That's the bottom. And then this top piece, I am going to put some glue around all of the edges because this, and maybe even through the middle a little bit. That's this is where, you know, the rubber hits the road sort of thing. And as you do it, you can just kind of square it all up, give it a little press, and then you can just reach inside. So I've got my finger inside the hole. Okay. And I'm just giving it a press here. At this point, you can use your bone folder or something and give that a really nice squish there. That won't work on the other one. For the next one, you will have to bring your finger in the hole because the box will be closed. Okay, so again, these are my sides. I'm just going to put some glue along there. Up from the bottom. This is my top piece with my designer series paper on the other side. It's the last one. Just going to put that down there. So now you've got a really nice, there's no seams at that edge. There are seams on the sides that you can't avoid that. They have to be somewhere, but it's not on the top. And it wouldn't really matter if it was. It will still work and you won't really notice it because you've got so much other decor going on that people aren't really looking at that, you know, that piece. But there you go. And there you have it. So there is your glue holder. And that just sits in there. Keeps the glip coming down to the the two, keeps the glue coming down to the tip where you need it. Quick, easy, a great way to show off bright, happy designer series paper or whatever designer series paper you have that that you love, and make something practical. You do need the best part of a full sheet of cardstock to make this because it was 8.5 by 6. So you cannot get 2 from one sheet of cardstock, but you have a nice large scrap left over that you can use for other things. And I used one of the scraps to cut my circles because did I tell you why I made a bunch of these? I made a bunch of these for Card Club. I don't know whether I mentioned that. My monthly card club. We met this morning and I like to give them little surprise and delight gifts. That's right. I mentioned that this was one of the pillow gifts for the online retreat, but I do make little gifts for people in my card club as well. It's one of the privileges of being part of the card club month after month, and it's my way to say thank you for that. We enjoy getting together, we enjoy crafting, but here's a little gifty for you as well. Alrighty, so that's what I have for you today. I hope you like it. As I say, if you have never made one of these, I will put the measurements up on my blog when I post this. But 8.5 by 6 on the short side, score at 2 and 4, and on the long side, score at 2, 4, 6, and 8. It's all in twos, so it's not too complicated, but it will all be in there. And then you can always stop and start this video to see how I assembled it if you want to do a review of that. Okay, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you like it. I hope you make some of these. As I say, I actually have two, two that I keep on this desk because I always have a couple of bottles of glue on the go. And I have one on my crafting table, and I have one upstairs on the island because I craft there. And sometimes it's not on the island, it actually goes in the cupboard. But yes, I have at least one up there. I have them at the cottage. Like I said, I have them everywhere, but they are fabulous. And mine are all different. So I have all different designer series paper for them everywhere. And this is also part of the desk organizer that I did. This desk organizer is full, so you're going to see all the stuff in here as well. But this, can we fit it in? Let me take a few of these things. This is just a little bit ridiculous. Um, so this was a desk organizer that I had made, and we did this as one of the optional classes at one of my girls' getaway weekends. The ribbon is pulling off. It just fix that so it looks lovely as I tilt it and show you. And this one, this was the first one of these that I had ever made. And you can tell from the designer series paper that it's old because this paper was from a long time ago. I didn't quite get that on right, but I'll fix it afterwards. But this was beautiful paper. Actually, this was not the first one. I think the first one's at the back. But this was lovely. So that's got all different compartments in it, including the glue holder. And they all just, these boxes are not glued into the tray. There is a tray that holds them. And so if you want to just take your glue somewhere, oops, there's your glue box. This is years and years and years old, and you can see with that reinforcement that it has stayed quite nice. So as before we had Wink of Stella even. I think it was. I didn't use Wink of Stella. I think it was before. But I think I have, yes, here's the very first one. Let me just grab it. It's back here. Because like I said, I have these everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay, so this one, this I believe was the very first one that I made. And this one, you can see this designer series paper. I don't remember the name of it. Something art or something, I think. It was stunning. It was so lovely. And it was heavy. So these are not even made with cardstock. These are just made with the designer series paper. And then and I didn't even decorate these two boxes. So here's the glue holder. It is just a cardstock box. That's kind of sad, don't you think? It's a little bit boring, but it sits in the tray here with everything else. So it does have this lovely paper on these boxes. Okay, so there you go. That's my tour of a number of these little organizers and glue holders that I have all around. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you like it. Give it a try. And if you do make one, snap a pic and put it in the comments under this video. I'd love to see yours and which gorgeous paper you chose to decorate yours with. Alrighty, that's it for today. Take care, everyone. Thanks so much, and we will see you all again really soon. Bye for now.